Welcome to the Deep Dive. We're all about cracking open expert sources, bringing those potent nuggets of knowledge. Today, we're taking a really close look, a deep dive into the Real Talk session from the incredible Vanessa Pollock of Keller Williams. And for all you KW Coastal Living associates and guests listening in, our mission here is pretty clear. We want to arm you with practical strategies, real insights you can actually weave into your business like right away to help you grow and prosper. This isn't just about listening. It's about getting inspired to, actually do something.
Yeah, and what's really powerful here, I think, is that Vanessa's journey, it offers this amazing blueprint, and not just for quick success, but for sustainable success. It's built on way more than just sales tactics. It's really founded on resilience, this deep sense of community, and genuine care. So we're going to unpack how her unique approach really transformed her business and how these principles can transform yours too.
Okay, let's get into that journey then. Because Vanessa's path into real estate, it wasn't exactly straightforward, was it? She came from a dance background, which, sounds totally different. But we'll see how that creativity actually plays a big part later. Still, it wasn't a smooth ride at the start. She hit some pretty significant hurdles early on that really became, foundational.
Right. And that brings up a really important question, I think, for everyone listening. How do you pivot? How do you navigate those moments when what you're doing just doesn't line up with your core values? Vanessa's early experiences were absolutely critical in shaping her ethical compass. First off, in NYC rentals, she ran into this double dip commission practice. So for anyone not familiar, that's where an agent gets paid by both the landlord and the tenant for the same deal. Vanessa felt, that this was ethically problematic. It creates conflicts of interest, maybe isn't totally transparent for the client. That immediately felt wrong to her.
Wow, okay, so a red flag right out of the gate. What came next?
Exactly. And that combined with another role later as an assistant to a top producer, that job promised amazing mentorship. But, it didn't deliver. The expectations weren't met. She felt undervalued. Those experiences together really forced her to reset based on her values. These weren't just bad days. They clarified what she absolutely wouldn't compromise on.
Okay, and here's where this story takes a really powerful turn, right? After facing these, let's call them failures, and feeling totally defeated, almost ready to quit, two things happen. First, her husband. His belief in her was just unwavering. He was willing to, live on credit cards to back her vision. I mean, that kind of support when you're really low, that's huge. It's rare.
It really is game-changing.
And then there's this almost unbelievable moment of encouragement. Fran and Randy, in a new office she joined, they literally just walked by, saw her setting up her small space, and just declared, "You're going to make $100,000 this year."
Wow. Just like that. Based on observation.
Just like that. Think about that. Who in your life has spoken that kind of possibility into you? Maybe when you couldn't see it yourself. And maybe flip that around. Who could you encourage like that this week?
It's such a pertinent moment. And if we connect this to the bigger picture, Vanessa's story really shows that resilience isn't just about bouncing back. It's about strategically leveraging the missteps. She didn't just recover. She used those bad experiences to build her ethical framework like a filter. So the takeaway for you listening is maybe to look at your own past failures. Don't see them just as mistakes, but as data points. They can help you define your non-negotiables and build a stronger path. And it also highlights how crucial mentorship and community are for building confidence, right? Especially when you're starting from scratch, $0. That whole mindset, fueled by belief from others and her own internal clarity, that's what helped her become the #1 single agent in a 3-office franchise. Okay, so she becomes this powerhouse solo agent, a real force. But even with all that success, she hit a massive wall, working constantly 7 days a week, just completely overwhelmed, battling serious burnout. And this led to a really personal struggle. She's open about it.
Yeah.
She had a newborn, a toddler, a 7-year-old, and a drinking problem. She was truly at a breaking point.
Yeah, and that's such a common story, isn't it? For high achievers, especially in real estate, the default answer always seems to be, just sell another house, that'll fix it. But that totally ignores the human being, the person behind the production. There was this pivotal moment with her Keller Williams team leader. The leader asked her a question that changed everything. What do you need as a human being? And her answer was just raw and honest. A day off.
Wow, just a day off.
Exactly. That question, that simple focus on her humanity, it was a breakthrough. It shifted the focus from just grinding out numbers to sustainable living.
Yeah.
Recognizing that real growth needs a solid human foundation. You can't pour from an empty cup, right?
Right, absolutely. And that realization, that need for a human solution, that's what brought her to Keller Williams. And it really shaped how she decided to build her team there. Her first move was, well, pretty unusual. She hired a buyer's agent first, Sherry, who's still her partner 16 years later. She did this before hiring an admin. Now, she'll tell you herself she kind of messed up there initially because it went against the MREA model. That's the Millionaire Real Estate Agent Framework from KW, right?
Right, which provides that proven system for building a leveraged, profitable business. And yeah, it usually suggests getting admin help first.
Exactly. But then she got the MREA book, took the KW classes, and strategically brought her business into alignment with that model. She understood that leverage, real leverage, was her path to getting her life back and building something sustainable.
And what's really key here is the power of being learning-based and having that mentorship. Quantum Leap, or QL, that's a big KW course on personal growth. Thinking Bigger, that was a huge personal turning point for her. It actually led directly to her getting sober in 2012.
Really? The course itself?
Yeah, she realized her drinking was basically blocking her potential. It was preventing her from showing up fully for her family, her clients, her team. Getting that clarity just unlocked a whole new level of focus and intentionality in her business. And then her relationship with Mo Anderson, KW's first CEO. That wasn't just inspiration. Mo gave her a clear, actionable roadmap, specific steps. Read John Maxwell on leadership, get on the ALC.
That's the Agent Leadership Council, right? The top agent group in the office.
Exactly. Lead the culture committee and shoot for $40 million in team production. That structured guidance was huge. Plus, her MAPS coach, that's a certified KW coach, helped her focus on her real why, her authentic motivation, which was giving back. That combination propelled her. It wasn't just about hitting targets, it was about the transformation along the way.
So translating this for agents listening, what does it really mean for growing your team and keeping great people? Vanessa's story hammers home that having a clear MVVBP, that's mission, vision, values, beliefs, and perspective. It isn't just some corporate jargon, it's the actual retention glue. It's what attracts and keeps top talent, like Denise, 10 years with her, Kevin, 7 years. It's about building a culture that burns bright, something people genuinely want to be part of because they connect with the purpose, not just the paycheck.
Spot on. And this burn bright idea, it's about being intentional and authentic. Vanessa didn't really recruit in the traditional sense, like chasing people down. She built something so magnetic, so value-driven that the right people were just naturally drawn to it. By clearly living and communicating her team's MVVBP, she created this environment where the internal values matched how they treated clients and each other. That consistent culture, that's the real glue for talent.
Okay, so the business really took off when she formalized her Care, Serve, Give model. Let's really dig into this because it shows how generosity isn't just, nice to have altruism. It's a powerful business strategy.
Definitely. The Closing for a Cause initiative is such a perfect example. Instead of like a generic closing gift basket, Vanessa donates to the client's chosen charity in their name. But it's more than the donation itself. It sparks family conversations about giving, sometimes right there at the closing table. It personalizes the whole experience in a way a branded mug just can't, right?
Right. Makes it meaningful.
Exactly. Clients feel genuinely seen, heard, and honored. They share stories about why a certain research hospital or a local food pantry means so much to them. It creates this much deeper bond than just a transaction. It turns buying or selling a home into like a shared act of making a difference.
That's brilliant. Really connects beyond the deal itself. And then there's her marketing approach, community first. She deliberately shifted her marketing budget away from things like billboards or ads on shopping carts.
Yeah, the more impersonal stuff.
Right, and focused only on mutually beneficial sponsorships. Local schools, nonprofits, community events. And this wasn't just philanthropy. It's smartly doubled as authentic lead gen.
Because by supporting the community, she was constantly connecting with her database in a really genuine way. It felt true to her values, much more than cold calling or door knocking would have.
Makes sense. So beyond clients and general community support, she created her own thing too.
Yes, her own signature initiative, the Pollock Arts Initiative. For 11 years now, this program has had a huge impact. Funded over 1,000 instrument rentals for kids.
Wow, 1,000.
Yeah. Supported 70 students with private lessons, provided grants for arts teachers. It fills a real need in the community, especially where arts funding gets cut. And it ties right back to her personal passion, her dance background. The insight there for listeners is maybe find your unique passion and see how you can authentically weave it into your business's giving model.
And the results of this whole Care, Serve, Give thing, they're not just fuzzy feelings, they're measurable, right?
Oh, absolutely quantifiable. Her business literally doubled from $50 million to an incredible $100 million between 2019 and 2020.
Whoa, during the pandemic.
Exactly. And that spike directly lined up with her very visible community action during COVID, like when her team pivoted to making face shields for healthcare workers. Her brand just became synonymous with excellence and generosity. People know her for her impact. And that leads directly to more inbound listing calls. People aren't just talking about sales volume, they're talking about the positive difference she makes. That's powerful, sustainable growth fuel.
Okay, so sustaining that kind of growth requires attracting and keeping the right people. Back to the burn bright strategy.
Right. It's about attracting talent organically. You do that by clearly communicating and, more importantly, living the team's MVVBP. When your internal values perfectly align with how you serve clients, that culture becomes the ultimate magnet and retention tool. You set such a compelling example that the right people just want to be part of it.
And beyond the culture piece, there's operational excellence. That's key too. One really practical, actionable strategy she shared that jumped out at me was the Friday seller update block.
Ah, yes, that's a great one.
Every single Friday, 3 dedicated hours blocked off in her calendar just to call all her active sellers. And the question was simple but powerful. How are you holding up?
It sounds simple, but that proactive communication, it built incredible trust. Clients knew that call was coming Friday. They'd save their questions, their worries for that dedicated time.
So fewer random calls interrupting evenings and weekends.
Exactly. It drastically reduced those ad hoc calls, especially the stressful weekend ones. It allowed Vanessa to actually take that day off she needed so badly earlier. It empowered her to set healthy boundaries, which is crucial.
So thinking about this for our listeners, how could implementing something similar, like that Friday seller update block, change your client communication? Imagine improving the client experience, cutting down interruptions, and actually getting some of your personal time back. It's about being predictable, proactive, and showing you care.
And this whole approach, team building, client care, operations, it's all deeply rooted in being learning-based. That's a core KW principle, right? Vanessa really pushes attending classes like 6 Personal Perspective.
That's the mindset course.
Right. Quantum Leap, which we know had a huge personal impact on her, and Business Planning Clinic. But beyond the formal classes, she stresses just extracting one thing from big events like family reunion or mega camp.
KW's big annual conventions.
Yep. It's not about trying to implement 50 ideas at once. It's about consistently finding and acting on one high-impact thing. In fact, she specifically said the Friday seller update block was her one thing from a Monica Reynolds session that totally changed her business and her life.
Just one thing. That makes it feel achievable.
Totally.
And finally, her view on creativity is really cool too. She didn't just leave her dance background behind. She realized that creativity wasn't just for the stage. She could apply it everywhere.
Like designing spreadsheets.
Yeah, designing spreadsheets, staging homes, problem solving. She channels that unique talent into all parts of the business.
It's a great reminder for everyone that your unique skills and passions, even if they seem totally unrelated to real estate, can actually be a huge asset. They can enhance everything you do and really set you apart.
So there you have it. That was our deep dive into Vanessa Pollock's Real Talk. We've really unpacked how focusing on values, using strategic leverage, embracing radical generosity, and maintaining operational discipline, how all that can truly transform a real estate business.
Yeah, we've seen how finding and acting on your one thing, whether that's defining your MVVBP, trying out closing for a cause, shifting your marketing spend to the community, or implementing that Friday seller update block, can create this amazing ripple effect. You get growth, sure, but also real positive impact. It's about building something that's not just financially successful, but also enriches your community and, feels aligned with your purpose.
Absolutely. So we really encourage you, everyone listening, take one thing, just one of these strategies we talked about, and actually put it into action this week. See what happens. And as you think about Vanessa's amazing journey, the learning, the resilience, the growth, here's a little something to chew on. What maybe hidden failures or tough times in your own past could actually be unmined gold for your future success? If, you chose to really learn from them, pull out the lessons, and implement them strategically. Thanks for joining us for this deep dive. We're excited to see what you achieve